Good evening, John.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Presume you can hear me okay. Jim, you want to go ahead and offer a prayer?
I will. Our Father in heaven, again, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. And as always, we thank you for the opportunity that we can come here and discuss county business tonight. And as always, we ask for your wisdom and guidance in the decisions that we make. We thank you for your son, Jesus Christ, who died for the forgiveness of our sins. And it's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, looks like we've got everyone here. Jerry, I guess, is having trouble with his camera. I can see he's got a camera on, but I can't see him. So if the clerk would go ahead and call the roll, please.
Squire Brewer,
Here.
Squire Mike Moody,
Here.
Squire Beaverson,
Here.
Judge Riley,
Here.
Squire Travis,
Here.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Jerry, you're muted. And your camera's not working.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and get started while Jerry's working on his camera there. First item of business is approval of the minutes of the prior court meeting of April 5th.
Motion to approve the minutes with any needed corrections, additions, or deletions.
All right. A second.
Judge, this is Jerry. They had me as not being there. I had trouble getting on the air at first.
On your camera is not working. I'll let Ken address that. Need a second on the motion.
Travis seconds.
Is that Squire Travis?
Yes.
Any corrections? Any corrections? If not, go ahead and call the roll, please.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. I'm not sure, Jerry, your camera is not working. I'll let Ken address that.
Yeah, this is the issue that we've had difficulty with in the past. We've got to try to get everyone voting on camera. I think later in the meeting, we're going to be discussing our chances of just getting back to live meetings so we don't have this continuing issue.
That is correct. Meantime, for this meeting, if Jerry cannot get his camera working, is he effectively not in attendance? Can we count his votes? Or?
Well, I think he can choose to abstain until we get the video straightened out.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to proceed and communicate.
Judge, I'm confused. Do y'all want me just to shut down?
Well, your camera's not working. We can't see you.
Okay. So my question is, do you want me just to turn it off and not attend this meeting?
I'll defer to Ken on that.
Well, I'm concerned that the law would direct us to suspend the meeting until the video was reconnected. So maybe just for this meeting, it would be best that until we get that video straightened out, maybe it would be best that we just don't have him in the meeting.
Okay, so he can observe, but he can't participate in the meeting.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay, I'll just turn it off. And that way there'll not be a problem. I won't be a problem to nobody.
okay.
Well, Jerry, we definitely want you to be able to put your 2 cents worth in. And I'm sorry, there's this crazy video thing we're having to fight with. But he can
I really
certainly
had a lot of
participate.
I really had a lot of concern over this building they're trying to push over on people. And I'll just call them. I can't help it because we don't have the good computer outfit that everybody else has. And
Sure.
I've done my best, but There will be no voices for the working people out there now tonight on this zone.
Okay, well, we want to comply with.
And that's all I've got to say. I'll talk to y'all later.
We just want to comply with the laws and the issue.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll tell my people out there what's going on.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Come around and we're just going to show you as absent from the meeting.
That's fine.
Carry on. Okay, the communication from Judge Executive. I've got a couple of things in your packet there. A lot of this has to do with the American Rescue Plan Act that was passed. You can see I've asked you all for some input. However, there is very little direction still on exactly what this money can be used for or cannot be used for. So we have to be very cautious. We still expect to receive half of that sometime within the next 60 days. And then the rest of it would be 1 year after that. So although I've put some suggestions on my communication to you all, I don't know if some of that is going to be allowed or not allowed. We just don't know yet. I will ask, I know I attended the County Judge Executives and Magistrate Commissioners Association Conference down in Lexington. And did anyone else attend any of those? There were two different sessions. I know I think we had Jerry on there, but I believe that Jerry canceled. Brett, I think you were on there. Did you attend either one of them or?
I had to cancel also because I have my granddaughter every day now.
Okay. Did you talk to Molly or directly?
Yeah, we got it all, so we're not charged. So.
Okay. I saw an invoice, but I guess they'll be giving us some credit on that. So, but there was a lot of discussion about the American Rescue Plan money. And the bottom line is they still do not have clear direction on what it can be used for, what it can't be used for. And so we're going to pay close attention to that. We've got some excellent people at CAECO and also at NACO, particularly with Judge Judge Moore up in Boone County, is the president of NACO now. So we've got people in excellent position to sort through this and find out what's acceptable. This is handled much differently than the CARES money. The CARES money went to the state and was handled through the Department of Local Government. This is handled much differently. It's coming directly to the local communities, and we are going to be responsible for how it's used and how it's accounted for. And so the overall feeling was to be patient, use caution, and they're going to be sorting out what it can be used for. So there's nobody that I know of, unless it's somebody at NACO or CAECO, that we can reach out to and ask questions, but right now they can't answer those. So before we could pick up the phone and call Frankfurt and ask them, but we don't have that now. The other item that I put in your packet is an article about Log Distillery. It's a new distillery opening down in Nelson County. Some of what I believe that this ARPA money can be used for is to build up our tourism and possibly some economic development. I've been talking to Chris Lemp, who's on here tonight. We will be having a vaccine clinic tomorrow from 10 until noon over at Ray Jewell Park. And we are also in communication with the health district about doing some more outreach and clinics here in Spencer County. It's been available at certain locations, I believe Park Duval, Express RX, which is Froman's, and also Hometown Pharmacy. But we're looking at maybe expanding that out to do some other things to reach out to people that can't travel to Shelbyville or having a difficult time, I guess, getting out to get the vaccine. So Spencer County and Trimble County within the health district are two counties that are very low on vaccine rates. So we need to try to do something to help that and get these people vaccinated that want to be vaccinated. The other thing that obviously we really need to seriously talk about is getting back to live meetings. I'm ready for that. We're supposed to have carpeting installed over at the fiscal court meeting room on the 28th. And so the meeting room, and I might call on Brett to just give me a little bit of maybe comfort that can we now live stream our meetings from the fiscal court meeting room?
I'll know this week.
Okay, just keep me posted on that. You know, I don't know if we need to have a motion on it or what, but you know, we need to get back to live meetings. I think the schools are back in session. They did the conference was a live meeting. Everything's getting back to where we're meeting live, and I'm all for our first meeting in May will be on the 3rd, and I'm all for having that as a live meeting. Would anybody object to that? I'm going to go ahead then and put the call out then for our next meeting to be live in the fiscal court meeting room. We just want to make sure that we are able to live stream it. I don't anticipate a lot of people being there, although that could change, but you know, I think we'll have plenty of distance, and you know, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. But I'm all for getting back to live meetings, and I think maybe that'll help Jerry too with his issue with being able to get on his computer. So with that, let me see. I believe.
Judge,
Yes, go ahead.
I assume there's going to be some restrictions in place limiting the amount of people in there so that everybody's social distanced.
Yes, we just have to make sure that it's live streamed.
Okay.
So I believe that, and I'll defer to Ken, but I believe that we can put some capacity restrictions so that we don't have a room full of people. But I believe that in order to do that, we have to be able to live stream the meeting. These meetings, by the way, are business meetings of Spencer County Fiscal Court. We do encourage people to participate. I say participate, not in our actual business meeting. They can observe. We allow time, be coming up here in just a minute, to allow people to give their comments to fiscal court if they so choose. But aside from that, the meeting is for us to conduct business. So periodically, yes, we will call on someone that is in attendance, but not on every issue. So, okay. Also want to point out that road paving has started, and that's going to be ongoing for a number of weeks. We had a levy commission election. The winners of that were Jan Keeney, David Taylor, Dwight Martin, and Robert Black as the secretary. So they are still in the process of trying to transition to a different form. It's, I believe, now organized under KRS. I may have this backwards, but I believe it's organized currently under KRS 268. And I believe that they want to reorganize under KRS 266, and that will allow for, would eliminate the elections, the the judge would appoint 5 members to oversee that. And so there's some other things that they're looking at as well, to have the tax or have the levy fee collected by the sheriff and some other things. So Mike, that's in your district. I'm not sure if you've stayed on top of any of what the levy is doing, but very, very important. Aside from that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to communications from citizens. Is there anyone that would like to address the court this evening?
I do have a comment, Judge. This is Chase.
All right, Chase, go ahead.
Well, I'm a little disappointed in the court and the county for not having, in-person meetings already, especially for Squire Moody, Jerry Moody. In the part of county he lives in, he may not have correct internet service to participate by video and, or the means. And I'm really disappointed that any vote taken tonight, my vote will not be heard, or my voice will not be heard, because he is my magistrate. I agree that, in-person meetings should resume. Kids are back in school, social distance 3 feet apart with masks on, and no temperature checks is the way I understand it. And I could be mistaken on that. And I believe the court could go back in person. So I hope to see that tonight, but I am very disappointed that, my voice will not be heard through Jerry Moody tonight because of the technical difficulties. And, who's to say he may not have good internet service in that part of the county. And I think the county should take that in consideration when doing these Zoom meetings.
Well, that's why we want to resume to live meetings, Chase, and I couldn't agree with you more. So anything else? Anybody wish to address the court this evening? If not, we're going to move on to communications, reports from members, other officers and committees. First up would be Julie with Planning and Zoning. Go ahead, Julie.
Okay, we have several things this evening. The first thing I'm going to bring up is the application of Top Flight Development. It was the rezoning application on Hostrasser Road that at the last meeting we agreed to postpone at the request of Trevor Brown. He's asking that we just put this application on hold until he can work something out with the county on the roads. So I don't know how we need to proceed with that, but that is his request.
Okay, so he's asked us just to postpone action on it, and I'm all I would agree, and it's in Jim's district. I'll let Jim address that.
I agree.
Yeah, okay. So that's fine. I'll Jim, if you'll just stay in touch with Julie, and we'll I'm sure come to a resolution of that. That, by the way, was in regard to the width of the road. So anyway, okay, Julie, anything else?
Okay, yes, I have 2 first readings that I will do. The first is the application of Travis Farms, Inc. for Susan A. Cox requesting Ag 1 Agricultural to B2 Commercial on 1.94 acres located in the 4900 block of Mount Washington Road. Commissioner Fowl made the motion to recommend the rezone the application of Travis Farms, Inc. for Susan A. Cox requesting zone change for Ag 1 Agricultural to B2 Commercial on 1.94 acres located in the 4900 block of Mount Washington Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends use. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan. Per their discussion, they put some binding elements on the recommendation, such as buffering, an internal lit monument sign, no flashing lights, and the pole light that's at the entrance will shut off at 10 p.m. The rest of the lighting is on the building facing downward. The width of the entrance at this time is 36 feet, no less. The exterior front is brick wrapping the corners. The rest is metal. Garbage is to be the back fenced in with a locking gate, and recommended they follow up on a traffic study determined by KYTC if a turning lanes are warranted or not. That was seconded by Commissioner Wheatley. After a little bit of additional discussion, they added in the record that the application would not proceed to fiscal court until they received a letter from KYTC. Motion carried. So at this point, I have received a letter from KYTC stating that turning lanes are not warranted from either direction on that application.
I have a question for you, Julie, on that point.
Okay,
As far as a turn lane, is that something that the fiscal court could add to it as a,
KYTC would not agree to letting them put one in.
what?
That's what before we could bring it to you all, I had to have the traffic study completed and KYTC review it. So at this time that has been done. The traffic study has been, completed, and KYTC says that with the traffic on Highway 44, it does not warrant a turning lane either direction.
Okay. All right.
Julie, this is Jim. Is that the property across from the park there we're talking about?
No, sir. That piece of property actually, it has some kind of a contractual agreement or something with that cell tower. And so they had to move the site completely. Now it is up closer to Lily Pike in the straightaway there on 44.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
All right.
Julie, I have a question, please.
yes.
I understand there's been some pictures and some requests sent to how the building, how they would like the building to look. Is there any way we can get a copy of that information before we have our next meeting? Like to be able to view all the documents that have been, sent forward.
I can get you what they have agreed to, if that's what you're asking. I know there's were some comments by neighbors during the meetings, and you all should have saw that in the minutes along the way where they had made requests. So what the motion is based on is what became findings at the meeting. Now, I will say since then, I have some photographs that a neighbor has provided of a Dollar General at a different location
Right.
where they were wanting to see something, a little bit different. But that after the zoning board meetings has already been over.
Well, that's the pictures that I was referring to. If I could get a copy of those,
Sure.
I can even come down to your office if I need to and get some.
Yes, you're welcome to.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready to move forward?
Proceed.
Okay, this is the second first reading I have. It's Betty D. Marksberry Estate requesting Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on 1.98 acres located at 3740 Love Lane. That comes to you by a motion made by Commissioner Fowl recommending to rezone the application of the Betty D. Marksberry Estate, requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on a 1.98 acre tract of land located 3740 Love Lane. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends low density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan. There was no one on Zoom to speak against it. Commissioner Wheatley seconded that motion. Motion carried. And the rest of these are second readings, so we would require action on these. I have the application of WCM Land LLC Series 18 requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on 4.009 acres located in the 600 block of Cotton Lane. Commissioner Travis made the motion to rezone the application of WCM Land LLC Series 18, request of Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on 4.009 acres located in the 600 block of Cotton Lane. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends medium density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there was no one present or on Zoom to speak against it. That motion was seconded by Commissioner Mudd. Motion carried.
In the absence of Squire Jerry Moody, I'm going to go ahead and make the motion to approve the zoning change based on the findings and fact and a recommendation of planning and zoning.
I'll second it.
Motion is seconded. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, we have the application of Donald and Stacy Dennis requesting Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on 2.344 acres known as Tract A in the 500 block of Driscoll Road. Commissioner Mudd made a motion to approve to rezone the application of Donald and Stacy Dennis requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on a 2.344 acre tract known as Tract A, located in the 500 block of Driscoll Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends low density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there is no one present or on the Zoom meeting to speak against it. Commissioner Fowl second the motion. Motion carried.
I'll make a recommendation to approve based on the facts and findings and recommendations from Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay, we've got a motion.
I'll second.
And was that Squire Brewer?
It was.
Okay. We've got a motion and a second. And if you'll call the roll, please.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Please proceed.
Okay, we have the application of Roy Douglas and Catherine A. Goodlett requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on 7.11 acres known as Tract 1, located in the 700 block of Little Elk Road. Commissioner Fowl made a motion to rezone the application of Roy Douglas and Catherine A. Goodlett requesting Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on Tract 1, consisting of 7.11 acres located in the 700 block of Little Elk Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends low density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there was no one present or on Zoom to object. Commissioner Travis second that motion. Motion carries.
Again, I'll make a motion based on the facts and findings and recommendations from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
We've got a motion.
Travis, second.
Squire Jim Travis seconds. And if there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes. Motion passes.
Okay,
What else you got, Julie?
I have a few more.
Oh, good.
I have the application of Taylorsville Church of Christ requesting amendment to their binding elements on Tract 2A, consisting of 3.064 acres located in the 300 block of Loop Road. Motion was made to recommend the application of Taylorsville Church of Christ by Commissioner Fowl to amend the binding element on track 2A, a 3.064 acre tract of land located in the 300 block of Loop Road. The binding elements that they are amending are the original binding elements taken, was to be brick on the outside of the building. They are allowing the exterior to be stone, IFAS, which is stucco, and metal. Also, the sign to be a 4x10 LED two-sided sign with only 30% to be lit. That's seconded by Commissioner Travis. Motion carries.
Okay, this is Jim. That is in my district. I am a member of that congregation, so I must abstain.
All right.
I have a motion to approve based on the fact finding and the recommendation from planning and zoning.
We've got a motion.
I'll second it.
And we've got a second. Please call the roll.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent. Squire Brewer.
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Squire Beaverson.
Yes.
Judge Riley.
Yes.
Squire Travis abstains.
Do we have, what's the total on that vote? Clerk, can you review the total on that? I'm sorry.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent. Squire Travis abstained. And the other 4 voted yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Next, we have the application of Barry Crawford requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on an 8.043 acre tract of land located in the 600 block of Roberts Road. Commissioner Travis made the motion to approve the application of Barry Crawford requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on the 8.043 acre tract of land located in the 600 block of Roberts Road based upon the following findings of fact. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends low density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan. It meets the regulations and guidelines set forth with the planning and zoning. There was no one present or on Zoom to speak against it. Commissioner Spau, second that motion. Motion carries.
I'm not sure that's kind of right on the line between Squire Brewer and Squire Moody.
Make a motion based on the findings of fact and recommendation of planning and zoning.
Got a motion to approve.
Second, Mike Moody.
Squire Mike Moody, second. Please call the roll.
Squire Brewer.
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Squire Beaverson.
Yes.
Judge Riley.
Yes.
Squire Travis.
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent.
Motion passes.
Okay, we have one more. I have the application of Paul Davis requesting Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on 5.655 acres located at 84 Willow Run Court. Commissioner Hunt made a motion to rezone the application of Paul Davis requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on a 5.655 acre tract of land located at 84 Willow Run Court based upon the following findings of fact. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends mixed use to high density residential, and the change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan. There was no one on Zoom to speak against it. That motion was seconded by Commissioner Knoll. Motion carried.
And whose district is that?
I'm not 100% sure. Hold on. It's right off of Stevens Lane. I'm thinking it should probably be Beaverson.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
I'll make a motion based on the findings and facts and recommendations from Planning and Zoning Committee.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Squire Brewer seconds. If there's no discussion, call the roll.
Squire McMoody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer.
Yes.
Motion passes. And what else we got, Julie?
As far as rezonings and things, I think that's it on it. We do still have the opening in our office to replace the enforcement tax administrator. So if you all are aware of anyone looking for a job, we have an opening. We do have it out there on Indeed, and also we've put it on Facebook, different things. So we're looking for a good candidate that's willing to come and join us.
We face what every employer that I talk to is facing. And we've got that position. We've got one or two positions under Public Works. We've got a position at Recycle Center. We've got a position at the Road Department. The difficulty is finding people that will want to work. So we're going to continue, Julie, to try to get that position filled. So.
Sure. I attended, well, by Zoom, and was part of the Regional Planning Council meeting just last week. And that was something that was brought up at that meeting for surrounding counties, that everyone is having a hard time filling openings and vacancies in their counties.
That's true.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Julie. We appreciate it. Next up is Chris Lemp, update on EMS and emergency management, as well as the virus.
Okay, I'll start with the fiscal courtroom. I checked on that. The occupancy rate is set at 80 on the fiscal courtroom.
Say that again.
The occupancy rate on the fiscal courtroom is set at 80. And
80.
And we are still under that 80% capacity for under the governor's mandate. So if my math's right, it sets that room at 64 people. Confident we won't have that many in there.
We should be able to do that very easily.
Yeah, I believe we could set the room up and space chairs apart and not have a problem with the COVID mandates. So moving on from that, the judge brought up the vaccine clinic we're running tomorrow at Ray Jewell Park. We have 150 doses to distribute tomorrow. That is going to be the Moderna. So we will set up a second clinic 28 days from tomorrow to give the second round of that Moderna vaccine. Moving forward from there, we talked to, there are no appointments needed tomorrow. It's a drive up. Talked extensively with Ms. Rice, the director of North Central Health District today, and she's agreed to let our EMS start running some COVID clinics. They're going to provide the vaccine and one staff member to do the clerical work. So after we get done with tomorrow, we'll start planning some more outreach clinics in the community somewhere to.
Let me interrupt you for just a second, Chris, on that point. That I've asked Chris to make sure and keep a close accounting of the hours and equipment and so forth that goes into that, because I believe that's clearly going to be an allowable expense for the ARPA funds. So I think we can really step that up, and I know Rolanda Rice over at the health district is really willing to work with Chris on this and to kind of step up our game on vaccinations. So sorry.
So the goal was just to get right now Spencer County is at the bottom of the list for the number of people vaccinated as compared to the population. Our goal is to get a little bit higher on that list, get some more people vaccinated. And the best way to do that is to bring it back to here. Getting several phone calls from people that just can't make it to Shelbyville to get a vaccine. So if we bring it back here and get it closer to home, I feel we can get more people vaccinated. So that's our main goal. We're going to start working on after we get done tomorrow, start working on the next clinic. So that's all I have for this.
All right. Anybody have any questions of Chris? We're going to have some other things coming up on the agenda for him, but okay. Next up is Safety Committee report. Squire Brewer, anything to report?
Nothing to report at this time.
All right. How about the American Rescue Plan, Jim Travis?
You asked for recommendations and I gave them to you, so they're in a packet.
Okay. And you'd asked for that to be on the agenda. That's why I put it in there. So anything else on that?
No, that's just my recommendations you asked for.
Okay. I know some of those are not going to be allowable, but as we get into this, we'll sort through all those issues. So next up is Solid Waste Committee report, Squire Travis.
I talked with Chris Pierce at Rumpke. We were talking about a recycling pickup on a weekly basis pilot program, and he went to his bosses, and they said they wanted to wait 6 months and review that again.
All right. And we've got something else coming up later on the agenda. Anything else for solid waste?
No, that's it.
Okay, Veterans Committee report, Squire Brewer.
Yes, AMVET's Post 129 will be rededicating the post and renaming it Clarence Joe Aubrey Post. And that's going to happen on Memorial Weekend, that Saturday. I'd like to invite everybody out to come out and take part of that. It's going to be a good ceremony. So I'd like to get as many people there as we can.
All right. And next up is Equipment Committee report. Jerry Moody is not with us, but I know he continues to work on those issues. We've got I think I may have mentioned it at the last meeting, the vehicle that was surplus to us from Metro Louisville for animal control. We still haven't gotten a report from Daughtery's on that. We know it's going to need tires, but we're not sure what else. And we also are having a very difficult time getting that transit van for the coroner. The coroner had a situation last week that we ended up, Chris called me and asked if it was okay for her to use one of the ambulances that was out of service at that particular time. And so, of course, I agreed to have her use that. In the meantime, we've taken the old coroner's van over to Daughtery's and gotten the driver's window up in an up position so that she can use that van. That was the issue, is the driver's window was not, the glass was not broken. It was just not operable. And it was in the down position. So it's been fixed in the up position now, so she can use that. Other than that, we'll dive into Equipment Committee issues at our next meeting. Telecommunications Committee.
Okay, well, we had a lot of network testing that was done today, and looks like from Brittany, she said that 66 Spears. Which building is that? 66 Spears.
That'd be Chris's.
EMS.
Okay. That she hasn't requested for a an improvement on the internet, but that has not been done. Is that correct, Chris? He might not be on anymore.
I'm on
Yeah, he's
still.
on.
Okay.
They came out Friday last week and we're doing a bunch of measuring and finding where all the electrical lines under the ground were. So they completed that survey last week. Another gentleman from Spectrum came out and did a survey of the building, but as there's no new service in it either.
Okay. All right. Well, that's coming. So looks like within 7 to 10 days, majority of folks will have their phones. So and there's a process. I haven't read through everything. This came in this afternoon about scheduling to implement the various locations. And there's some criteria that went out on that email. So I'll get with Brittany, make sure that everybody has this information so that each department can schedule this, and also that they have their phones with them and everything's connected the way these instructions are. That's it.
So that's really going to move us into the 21st century with phone systems finally.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate your work on that, Brett. And then we did already talk about the connectivity and being able to live stream over in the fiscal court meeting room. What else is telecommunications working on? It seemed like there was something else. Oh, we've pretty well completed the transition to HostGator. There's still some. We had one, the coroner actually was in today, was having trouble getting her email, and we got that straightened out. But as far as I know, that's pretty well completed now. So it was
right. And
all right. If there's nothing else, Squire Beaverson, we're going to go to the jailer's quarterly report is in your packet. I see the jailer is on here. He would like to hire Russell McGahee at a rate of $10 per hour, $40 per run.
Yes, sir. That is to replace Aaron Hornsby, who quit as of April 1st. He moved on to some different opportunities.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
Travis makes a motion to hire Russell McGehee at $10 an hour, $40 per run.
And that's subject to background check and drug screen, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I have the background check done. I didn't do the drug test until after I spoke with y'all.
Okay. And then we can assume put him on immediately afterwards. So do I hear a second on that motion?
I'll second.
We've got Squire Beaverson seconded. Any discussion, comments, questions, or concerns?
Melvin, I assume this is the same pay rate that the other deputies have been getting. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I'm going to do my best to try to pass on the same equipment so we don't have any extra cost.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, call the roll, please.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Is there any other reports from
Judge?
Yes, go ahead.
I do have two other things. One, I wanted to mention that me and the sheriff are going to be sharing one of the vehicles that he passed down. Instead of me trying to replace the Crown Vic, we are going to be sharing one of those vehicles between me and court security. And also that's going to be one of the sheriff's pool vehicles if, they have one breakdown, and I'm good with that.
Okay.
And I have one more thing.
All right.
that I'd like to ask the court. I got a phone call today from Daryl Cox, which is the jailer of Shelby County. And he was asking me And I told him not to my knowledge, but he was saying he had a rumor, and I hate to discuss a rumor, but he had a rumor that we was going to be switching our contract over to Nelson County and dropping Shelby County. I told him that, to my knowledge, that was purely a rumor, and I just wanted to make sure that that there is nothing out there that I don't know anything about.
Well, that's the first I've heard of it. So no, that's not so.
Okay,
You need me to call Daryl to talk to him?
I've already told him that I had a meeting tonight and that I would ask the question just to make sure that there's nothing being spoke about. But I
Okay.
told him that we was at this point that we was okay with the service they provide, unless y'all have something different.
Nope.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There's one other thing that I want to talk about while we've got you on here, Melvin, and that is, and you and I have talked about this, the striping that you had done on your vehicle. It's,
yes, sir.
I don't know what you call it, ghost or some kind
It's
of
called ghost striping.
The fact is, and I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but you can't see it. It's
you can't see it. It's made for nighttime. So I've had a discussion with the judge and Chris Limp, who's trying to be quiet there. If you guys want to okay it, I have no problem with restriping it. I'm going to take a guess that it's going to be about $500 to restripe it, and put just regular striping on it like the sheriff has or like EMS has.
Well, I wish we hadn't. I guess we paid about $500 to put that on there, but
yes, we did.
Hopefully you can't see it unless you say you can see it at night. But I'm going to make a motion that we go ahead and restripe that to something that is visible.
I have no objection, guys, if that's what y'all want to do.
I'll second that motion, Travis.
Got a motion and we got a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Judge, can I?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Melvin.
I'm don't mean to step on y'all's toes, but you just said make a motion to change it, but up to $500. I mean, give me an amount so I can look for what to do.
Will $500 cover it, or do you
I think so. From what I think that's going to be overkill. That's why I mentioned that number, but I just wanted to make sure that I was okay for up to that.
Yeah, motion. Squire, I believe Squire Travis made the motion.
That's fine. Yes.
Yes.
Judge Riley, you made the motion.
Judge Riley made the motion.
I'm sorry, I made the motion. Yes, absolutely. I apologize. Yes, if you think $500 will cover it, I mean, I can make it $600 just to be on the safe side. But
whatever y'all wanted to do, I just.
All right, I'll change my motion to approve restriping that so that it is visible in the daytime and nighttime, up to a maximum of $600 just to be safe. We don't think it's going to run that, but.
And I'll second that, Travis.
Oh, okay, good. We've got a motion and a second.
Who authorized?
Sorry. I was going to call a roll, but if you're discussing, you go ahead.
Squire Brewer.
Who authorized the ghost marking in the first place? I don't think that was court decision, was it? Or
it was. Y'all just voted to. Y'all just gave me. If you remember, I got all the lights and all the equipment and all that stuff for the car. Blah blah blah. I asked to be able to stripe it, and y'all gave me the okay. I didn't give y'all particulars on what type of striping I was doing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Judge Riley?
Yes.
Squire Travis?
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent. Squire Brewer?
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody?
Yes.
Squire Beaverson?
No.
Okay, motion passes, and just get that restriped so that it is visible. Is there any other communications reports from members, other offices, and committees? If not, we're going to proceed. New business, personnel appointments. I've got need a motion to approve my reappointment of Ray Wilson Armstrong to a 3-year term on the Spencer County Fire Protection District Board of Trustees.
So moved.
We've got a motion.
Travis, second.
Squire Travis seconds. Any discussion? If not, call the roll.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody. Squire Mike
Yes.
Moody, Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley.
Yes. Okay, that motion passes. Next up is EMS. We need Remy, pronounce that for me, Chris.
Remy Ganegi.
Ganegi, okay, has achieved her advanced EMT status, and we need to increase her pay rate to $14 per hour.
Travis makes a motion to approve that.
We've got a motion.
Brewer, second.
And Squire Brewer seconds. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Congratulations to her, and glad to have her on board. Just want to make a note, if I may. I always forget to say this at the start of our meeting when we're calling the roll, but the treasurer, Doug Williams, is in attendance of this meeting in my office. So that, and also see we have a guest, a former magistrate, Roger Moore. Good to see you there, Roger. Next up is EMS medical equipment, QualMed. Chris?
You'll find it's a quote for 4 new interosseous IV driver and the needles that go with them. The product we currently use is called an EPIO. It's becoming very difficult to get the needles for that. Basically, we got to order those directly from the manufacturer now, and we've got to order 5 at a time at $109 a piece. For it's a vital piece of equipment, but it's not used very often. So my fear at ordering 5 at a time is that we're going to have needles expire. This device does the same thing. The needles are a little bit cheaper, like I think it was $78 in this quote, and we can order single needles. So it's device does the same thing. It's just going to be a cost savings in the long run, but there is a cost up front to buy the driver that goes with them.
Chris, I have a question. What is the purpose of that?
It is for doing interosseous IVs where we have to if we have like a severe trauma patient or burn patient and we can't get access to an IV through a vein, we drill directly into the bone marrow and provide medication and fluids that way, as opposed to as we would like a normal IV like you get at the doctor through the vein. It doesn't. I hear it doesn't hurt as bad as it sounds, Brett. But
It sounds awful.
Sounds painful to me.
So that's what it's for.
Okay, I'll need a motion to go ahead and approve the purchase. Quotes in there, $1,536.
So moved.
That'll cover all 4 ambulances.
Yeah, that's all 4 ambulances. So Squire Brewer or Beaverson made the motion. Who's going to second that?
Travis,
Second, Mike Moody.
Squire Travis seconds. Any other discussion? If
Just
not,
had one question, Judge.
Okay, go ahead.
How often have we used that over the last year?
We use them probably a couple of times a month. Not enough to justify buying, because the problem with it is there's 3 size needles.
Yeah.
And so I can order this way, if they use an adult size needle, I can order one replacement needle. As opposed to having to order a 5-pack at $109. The needles are $109 each on the old drill. And
Thank
so, yeah. So over the course, we'll save some money, but of course, we got the initial cost, and the drivers themselves that we're switching to it looks like a drill, but you crank it with your hand as opposed to having a battery powered drill. The old one is
God,
the old one is a
Sorry, I asked. Go ahead.
the old one
It
is
hurts. It
powered
hurts
like
just to think about it.
and you can't replace the battery. So when that battery goes dead, we're having to replace drivers at like $300. And I believe this other driver that doesn't take a battery is $159, I believe.
All right, thank you.
God love our EMS professionals. Okay, so we've got a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes,
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent.
Thank you, gentlemen.
motion passes. Okay, next up is our 21/2022 insurance rates. And I believe there's Brett's, I'm going to defer to Brett on that.
I think it's pretty much the same as last year. We upped the fiscal court's responsibility. It's went up to 600 per person. Is that right, Doug?
Yes, that's on the sheet there. The committee is recommending increasing the contribution from fiscal court to $600 per month.
What was the original?
580 something, I think. 580 something, Doug says.
Okay.
Yeah, and the participants of the meeting overwhelmingly were in support of doing that as opposed to some other options. So I'm going to make a motion to approve.
Okay, this is to approve the recommendation of the insurance committee. As presented. And we've got a motion.
Second, Mike Moody.
Mike Moody seconds. Any discussion, comments, questions? If not, call the roll, please.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis. Squire Travis,
You're muted, Jim. He's trying to find the unmute button.
I lost my total picture. Yes.
There we go.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Motion passes. Next up is we kind of got it in reverse order here for rural and municipal county road aid funds. There is a resolution that I'm going to take up first rather than second, and need a motion to approve the resolution, which is then going to allow me to sign the agreement. So this is
Travis makes that motion.
We've got a motion.
Second.
And Squire Mike Moody seconds. And if there's no discussion or questions, call the roll, please.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes, and I'll need that resolution completed with the yays and nays and get that signed, I'll sign the agreement and get that back up to rural and municipal roads. Next up is rural secondary flex funds. Every year we have to decide, will we do we opt to use our flex funds on state roads, or do we opt to use them on county roads? The total for the upcoming year is 128,981. And I can tell you that every year, it would shock me if someone would make a motion that we allow the state to use those on state roads, but I'll entertain a motion.
Scarborough makes a motion that we use the flex funds for county roads.
Got a motion
I'll second that.
and we've got a second, just as expected. So call the roll, please, if there's no questions.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
And Judge, I understand that whoever made the motion, whoever seconded, gets the majority of that flex fund money used in their
I'm not
district.
sure. I think there needs to be a little more discussion on that. Meet me in my office and we'll talk about that. Okay, next up is approval to advertise for, actually it says asphalt bids, but I believe there's other. Yeah, this is for stone and all the supplies for the road department. We do this every year. So we're proposing to advertise that for bid, and looks like they'll be received up until 2 p.m. on May the 6th.
Motion to approve the invitation to bid on diesel, stone, freight, liquid emulsions, and bituminous base and surface.
Excellent. We've got a motion.
Judge, I believe you have
second
the time and date wrong. It says on our paper, 3 p.m. on May 21st. I think you said 2 p.m., maybe May 6th.
What is the sealed bids? I may need to correct what's in the packet, because at the bottom it does say,
They will be reviewed.
they'll be reviewed. Okay. Well, actually, what we will do, we'll receive those bids and then I'll bring it back to the court for your all's approval. So the motion is to go ahead and advertise for bid. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
We didn't get a second, did we?
I thought we had,
Yeah, I seconded it.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
okay. Call the roll, please.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes. Okay, motion passes. We'll get those advertised. Got another approval to advertise for bids for FEMA projects. That's Delta, Edmondson, Wilder, Hoagland, Roberts roads. These are for FEMA. Just need a motion to go ahead and advertise for bids.
Motion to advertise.
We got a motion.
Second, Travis.
Squire Travis seconds it. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Motion passes. Next up, I'm going to defer to Squire Beaverson on this. This is a proposal to close a section of County Road, and that's a small section of John Henry Road.
Okay, guys, I don't think we've done this before. Not this court, anyway. So what we have at the end of John Henry is a section of road you can see in your packet and section or picture B, what it looks like now. Obviously, that's not a paved road. And the property owner is having some issues with people going through there and around in his field, and it ends at Brashears Creek. It's something that he wants to put a gate in front of. On the right-hand side of that picture where you see a fence, that's his property. On the left-hand side is another individual's property who was on site with me when we went out and met. They're both in agreement and putting a gate up there. There is a water line that goes through his property and across this road. And he has no problem at all on allowing the city to put their own lock on the gate, so they always have access to it. The process on this is one where I just need, looks like I just need approval tonight that we proceed with the process. And there's supposed to be a couple places within a mile that we post a sign that this is it's being proposed that it goes back to the original property owner. If we have one person who has property that butts up against this, that says they don't want it to go back to the original, they want the county to still keep it, then it's done. We don't do anything further. So far, that's not anything that is going to happen. We have to advertise in the paper what's taking place, and there's some specifics in KRS 424, that section, on what that advertisement is supposed to look like. Let's see. The road department foreman, he's been on site and talked with this property owner, and he's good with it as well. So I guess all I need at this point is approval from the court. If there's anything else I need, Ken, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we proceed with the discontinuance of 0.21 miles of John Henry Road. And that is at the very end of John Henry Road.
We've got a motion.
Brewer, second it.
Squire Brewer seconds it. I can tell you, just as a matter of discussion, I know that issue came up when I was magistrate in that district. It was in my district. And I was reluctant to do that because of, it's difficult to obtain right away. I thought that, there may be some remote possibility that at some point in the future, it could be used for another access way into that area, because if that John Henry Road floods, Indian Ridge and that portion of John Henry is, you can't reach it. But I have no objection to this. I talked to the property owner, and it has been, I don't see anywhere in our near future that we would be able to build a span bridge across Brashears Creek that would allow that access. So I would I'll be voting yes on this, so.
Yeah, this is Travis. I'm very aware of that crossing down there. And when my brothers and I farmed, we farmed on both sides of the creek there. And we used that road as a crossing over to Shears Creek Road. And it was a good, easy access. If you didn't, you had to go all the way around to Taylorsville and back around to Shears Creek. And if you remember a few years ago at Rivals, where the road goes across the creek at Rivals over to Haley Road, the property owners there wanted to close that off, and they even put broken glass on the road to keep people from going across there. And that was finally defeated. And I think this is the same thing as the property owners wants to keep people from traveling a county road to access across Brashears Creek onto Brashears Creek Road. And I would not be in favor of that because, that's been a crossing there for years for local people. And now the property owners there want to stop that and put a gate up and stop the crossing from John Henry over to Brashears Creek Road. So I don't agree with it.
I think what he's winding up with is needles and condoms and beer cans. It's a different time.
I'll say your picture in the photograph B is very flattering compared to what that road actually looks like. You've been down closer to the creek and you know what I'm talking about. It's
yes, we went back there.
Passable without a big four-wheel mud.
There's very few times in the year where you can actually cross over, is what I'm told. The water's got to be down quite a bit because of the debris and the swiftness of Brashears Creek.
Well, at one point, you could cross the creek there very easily. And one of the property owners actually brought a high lift or a bulldozer in and bulldozed out the creek so people couldn't cross there. And that stopped it for a while, but it's a crossing for people to use as a shortcut. And I think we're bound down to one or two property owners wanting to stop that.
Okay. By the way, Squire Travis, you're getting dangerously close to being not visible on camera.
Kilroy.
You just see the top of your head. So you may want to adjust the camera a little bit, make sure there we go. Now we are fully in compliance. So
I didn't want you to look at my ugly face.
All right. So we've got a motion and we've got a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis.
No.
Okay, motion passes. So Squire Beaverson, if you'll get with Ken, let's just make sure we do everything according to statute. So, and let's see, next up is the Little Elk Road Bridge. Jeremiah, are you still with us? Oh, there you are. You want to talk a little bit about Little Elk Road Bridge?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Court, for having me. I appreciate the work you're doing on behalf of Spencer County. I'll try to be as brief as I can. Little Elk Road, just north of, is that Mill Road? Yeah. Little Elk Road goes from Mill Road up to 53. I'm not sure whose district that's in, but that little bridge has been reduced to 3 tons recently. We are going to fix it with the help of the 80/20 funds. I've talked with Craig Cottle in Rural Municipal Aid. He's allowed us to use 2 years worth of money rather than the 1 year, just because of the way the timing falls on this. So he's been very flexible with us. He's being very good to us. However, that only gets us a total of $200,000. The plan was to build back a 40-foot span. Currently, it's 19'6". And because it's 19'6", the ends of the road wash out at least once a year. I'm not sure the exact frequency, but it quite often. And the road's underwater. What we'd like to do is expand that bridge to a 40-foot span to allow more of the high water events to go under the bridge rather than over the road. That won't stop it completely because that road is pretty much a few feet above the creek level, but it will greatly help. However, if we extend it to 40 feet span, we have to reduce the width because we don't have the funds to make the current county standard of 24-foot wide bridge. And so with the court's permission, we would love to design it for a 12-foot wide bridge with 11-foot driving lane. And we would eliminate the guardrail on it so agricultural equipment could still cross it. And with that, I'll leave it to the business of the court. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. So
Thank
that would
you.
be a 12 by 40-foot bridge,
That is correct.
and you just need the court's approval to waive the requirements that the county has on that in order to be able to accommodate this. That
Wisely, the county has the requirements to adopt KYTC specifications, which will be 24-foot wide. This one will be only 12-foot wide, and it will not have guardrail. So I need a waiver for those two items from the county, and then we'll get started on it.
need a motion.
Motion to approve that waiver.
We've got a motion.
I'll second it for discussion.
All right. And we've got a second. And I'm ready for discussion.
Okay, Jim, this is Jim Travis. We've been in discussion on Washburn Lane to replace the washover bridge with that same money. And I know you've been involved with that. How's that going to affect that? Is it going to push that back a couple of years?
We would be using 2 years worth of money. This fiscal year, which ends in August, I believe. Someone can correct me on that, as well as next fiscal year, which ends August of 22. So September of 23, there would be $100,000 available.
Yeah, actually, July 1 would be the start of the
July 1. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
So that would push the Washburn culvert bridge, 80-20 money back another 2 years. Is that what you're saying? If we do this?
Unfortunately, it would. Yes.
Okay.
This, if you've not seen the bridge in person, it is, it's a sight to behold when you watch traffic go over top of it. She needs help.
It's been reduced to a 3-ton limit now.
Yeah. That's correct.
The bridge really needs to be replaced. I'm sorry, Squire Brewer, I think you had some.
I do. How far is it from the bridge to the rock below, whatever, the bottom?
We haven't done geotech on that yet, but you can see rock in the creek. So we hope that's just a frangible rock at the top, and it shouldn't be much lower.
Well,
The current bridge is.
I'm just asking for a distance. I'm talking about safety. We're doing away with a guardrail. If somebody, takes a tractor and runs it off the side, what's the fall? How long is the fall?
That's correct. It will be 8 foot in height down to the creek bed.
We have one of these over in Squire Moody or maybe my district the same way. We've got guardrails on it. I know it's inconvenient to the farmers, but I think safety is probably as important as anything.
Current bridge has no guardrail, is that right?
That is correct. It has a curb. This one, we will replace the curb with concrete curb.
What would be the cost if we went with the state specs on that for 24-foot wide?
1 second. We'll go to the next question while I figure up the math.
Well, a ballpark. Is it out of reach for us to do that?
1 second. It is $400,000. So it'd be another 2 years worth of money. And KYTC won't let us do that anymore. We can't bank the funds.
That would look woefully out of place on Elk Creek Road, Little Elk Road.
It is currently a single lane gravel road.
It's not gravel.
It's paved.
Yes, paved.
No, it's not gravel.
right by the bridge is gravel after a flood.
But it's single lane. It would
Yeah,
look.
after it floods, it's gravel.
So we're talking about the county's part of it's going to be $40,000. Is that correct?
County's part of the 12-foot wide, 40-foot long bridge will be that amount. Yes, sir.
And then we'll used up 2 years of our emergency money for that, from the rural
Sorry.
aid. Okay.
Yes, sir. Well, the 80/20 money, the emergency money is still available.
So if we approve this, we could go ahead and get started replacing that bridge sometime after July 1st.
Correct. We would actually try to bid it out before July 1st to capture this year's money.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? If not, call the roll, please.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer.
Yes.
Motion passes. Jeremiah, I appreciate your work on this, and
Thank you, Jeremiah.
all
Appreciate
right.
you, Court. Thank you.
The resolution and agreement, is that on Little Elk?
It's under there.
It's under there, but I think this is
Looks like it's a duplicate.
it's a duplicate, I believe. I think we just needed to, on the Little Elk road issue, just authorize a waiver on the requirements of width and so forth. So, so the next item then would be under finances, litter abatement funds. You've got a letter in your packet, and it was unfortunate that we did not spend all of our litter abatement funds for the year 2020. That's on a calendar year. So we're going to be required to return approximately close to $15,000 to Frankfurt. So hopefully that will not happen again. Although I can tell you, and I'll share this with you, that there is movement afoot in the legislature to possibly eliminate litter abatement funds. I'm not sure. It didn't come up, I don't think, in this session, but I believe it will in the next session. But it's just unfortunate that that happened. So budget amendment number 2.
We need to vote.
Oh.
We need to vote on sending that back.
Oh, do we need to? Okay, I'll need a motion to return that to Frankfurt. What was the amount?
And what if we don't?
Oh, I don't think we have a choice.
May have a choice if I can sign the check legally.
I don't see, for some reason, I'm not seeing that. Do you all see that in your packet?
It's 14,938.42.
Right, okay.
I'll make a motion that we send that back to Frankfurt.
We've got a motion
Second it.
and we've got a second. Any questions, comments, or concerns? If not, call the roll.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent.
I do see now, I think that
That resolution is for Elk Creek Road. Little
it
Elk
is
Creek.
for Little Elk.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to back up to that then, and I'm going to need a motion to.
Motion to approve the resolution for Little Elk Road Bridge.
Thank you. We've got a motion.
Second.
And we've got a second. Call the roll, please. Before she does that, I'll just comment that it looked to me like that was a duplicate from the other one, but it obviously is not. So we needed to, this will be for our 80/20 bridge money. If the clerk will call the roll, please.
Who was the second on the motion, please?
Brewer.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get that off to Frankfurt. Now we can go to budget amendment number 2.
Motion to approve the budget amendment.
We've got a motion.
Brewer, second.
And we've got a second. We've got Doug here. If you have any questions, if not, go ahead and call the roll, please.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Motion passes, and we will schedule that for a second reading. Oh, does that have to go to, that has to go to Department of Local Government first, and then when we get it back, we'll do a second reading. Next up is just for your information, and it's in your packet, is the quarterly report. If you have any questions on that, please call the treasurer or Brittany or myself, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have on it. We've also got in there the monthly financial statement. And again, if you have any questions on that, just let us know. And the next up would be review and approval of expenditures, purchases, invoices, and transfers.
Motion to pay the bills and make the transfers.
We've got a motion, Squire Moody.
Second that.
Squire Beaverson seconds it. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I just do have one question. If you could just make a note to have Brittany check on the EMS billing for the bound, I can't think of what the name of it is. Trying to find. But we had a credit with them because we had paid them too much for a mannequin. And
Oh, yes, I do remember that. They were going to give us a credit on our account. So
yes,
he orders from them regularly. So that was no problem. So did you need the amount of that or?
Well, I just want to make sure that we are receiving our credit.
Okay. We will check on that and make sure that that was credited.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
And that was
I'm sorry.
That was Boundtree.
Boundtree.
Yes.
Okay. I see Doug making a note over there right now. So.
Thank you.
Okay. If there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, please call the roll.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Travis,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody's absent, Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes. And before we adjourn, I just, I know probably most, if not all of us, are going to look forward to getting back to doing live meetings, and we will, barring any kind of issue with live streaming that, so that we don't run into a problem as far as room capacity. But you just heard Chris say the room is rated for 80 people, and we can do 80% of that. So I don't think we're going to even come close to if we do have some folks that want to come in. It is a possibility that we would have to limit the number of people in there. If so, we are live streaming, so we should be okay as far as I know. So with that, is there anything else to come before the court this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We've got a motion
Second.
and Squire Moody seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.